Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now that it's into the late night, we passed the late night. We're into the late night, into the witches hour. Let's talk more games. Let's raise some more donations. We haven't had a money in a bit. I said this last night. It seems like the donations at this time feel like they're double the value just because they're so hard to get. Good morning, Yumi. Okay, yeah, I guess that's kind of dumb of me to say. It's morning in a lot of places. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, as that song says.
as the song says.
So where's everybody? If you don't have to give your address, what country is everybody watching from right now? Morning, Yuki. What's up, Ryan? 11:13 a.m. So you're somewhere in Europe, right? Oh yeah, you told me you're from Norway, I think.
Oh heck yeah.
More Netherlands. Texas. Oh, you're Renzo. I'm so jealous. Skyrim. Oh, we got someone from Hawaii. What's up, Crypto Killer? I have a couple of friends that are from Hawaii. Italy. I've always wanted to go to Italy. Lorraine. All right. So what type of run is this that you're doing right now, boss?
Sisters.
Who are the sisters? What's the lore on this? They look creepy.
They're the daughters of Eric Lacard that were turned into vampires by Bronner when they came looking for Eric in the castle.
2 a.m. here, about to go to bed soon. Thank you for tuning in, King Simba. We'll be here tomorrow when you wake up if you want to. Who's Eric Lacard?
He was one of the 2 playable characters in Bloodlines.
Okay.
And like the story is that there's still no Belmonts following Ecclesia, and only a Belmont can unlock the true power of the vampire killer. And a cousin family line, the Morrises, are the current owners of the vampire killer, but they can only unlock the true power with the help of the Lacard family.
Steffi said this is like an easy mode.
No. Although I did use a glitch to make this significantly easier.
It does seem like it plays completely different, almost like a twin stick fighter. Or shooter, I mean. Not fighter. It looks so funny. What's the glitch that you did?
I had a level 1 hard mode save, and I was able to transfer the plus 50 to all the stats that completing that grants.
Oh, okay.
It also transferred all my items, which I can't access in this mode, and my map completion.
A shooter, yes, not a shmup. No, I've never actually. Well, no, that's not true. I haven't played very many shmups. I've played one, a couple out in arcades, but I want to play. What's that popular GameCube game? Is it Ikaruga? I want to try that. It looks fun. Was it Saturn? Did it get ported to the GameCube? There's like a lot of shmups on the Sega Saturn, aren't there? So I had a Sega Saturn. I think I've told the story before, but for it's also available on Steam. Oh, cool. Well, that makes it easy. For any newcomers, I was just gonna tell random stories. I don't know why I always started out with. I've told this story before because a lot of you probably haven't heard it, but back when the Nintendo 64 came out, I remember my cousin got one. My grandma got my cousin the Nintendo 64 for his birthday, and he got Nintendo 64, Star Fox, and a Rumble Pack like right when it came out. Oh, it's on the Switch too, even better. I love the Switch. But so for me and my brother later that year, she was like, y'all can pick any of the consoles that y'all want, and I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy, but one of the friends I was hanging around that summer, he had a Sega Saturn, and I told him, I was like, oh, my grandma said we can get any console we want. It was for if we got like straight A's or something like that, we could get it in the summer. And so he did a heck of a job convincing me to get a Sega Saturn. So the reason was, so I guess at the time, this was once the Sega Saturn was kind of, I think, failing. I didn't know this as a kid, but he was like, you need to get a Sega Saturn because it's cheaper. It comes with something. Whenever I got the Saturn, it came with like a bajillion demos. So he was like, the Nintendo 64, you're gonna have to buy all these games. With the Sega Saturn, you're gonna get like Virtua Cop, Virtua Fighter, Daytona, Nights. Like you get all these demos, which I'm not gonna lie, they were really cool.
Demos were a big deal back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it's like, there's a demo, I might check it out.
Yeah. Well, so I told my brother. My brother was also into games. Not like he wasn't as hard-headed as I was. So if I really wanted something, he'd be like, okay, that sounds fine. So we got the Sega Saturn, and I did like it a lot. I didn't know, like looking back on it, obviously Sega Saturn at that time, what it was is I watched like the gaming historian on YouTube and stuff, and I was trying to see like what had happened with the Sega Saturn. And so apparently at the point that I bought it, they had already extremely slashed the prices, and that's when they started giving away like all these these
really
games.
Warm in here all of a sudden.
That's because the AC turned off. They started including all the demos and stuff, but I really enjoyed it at the time. Sega Saturn is what actually introduced Warcraft to me. We went and rented Warcraft. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 that came out on the Sega Saturn, and that's what made Chase. Chase loved that game so much that we were, trying to find it for him for his birthday. We could not find a copy of Warcraft. We were trying to go back to the place that we rented it, and they didn't have it anymore or something like that. So we ended up getting Chase StarCraft on our first PC, and then from there we just became like, we played a ton of Blizzard games and stuff like that. I know Blizzard's not very, it's not a very fun topic anymore, but anyways, what else did I play on the Sega Saturn? Resident Evil. That's what introduced me to Resident Evil on the Sega Saturn. What else did I play on the Sega Saturn? Resident Evil, Nights, Sega Rally, Clockwork, I think was one of the games. Yeah, there was this weird Clockwork game. Yeah, I mentioned Warcraft. That's about a bit.
I had Diablo on PS1 when I was a kid. It was really good there for the couch co-op. So I wasn't surprised when Diablo 3 was really good with couch co-op on a console.
Oh yeah, Punkle mentioned the Saturn would have sold better if they didn't piss off retailers retailers off like Walmart. Yeah, that's the thing that I'd watched too. I didn't realize, what was it? They the PS1 basically, because of either the price or the release date, I can't remember which, they wanted to try to one-up Sony, and I think at E3 or something, they'd made the decision to kind of like change the release date where it came out sooner, I think is what it was. But I think it was only to certain retailers, because they could only, it wasn't that they wanted to give exclusivity to certain retailers, is that because they wanted to get out, I think, ahead of the PS1, they only had so many consoles, and if they had I don't know who it was sold to, who got to be able to sell the Saturns, but they didn't get it the same time as all the other retailers, so it ended up angering other retailers, and
I think it's kind of amazing.
It was a whole mess.
Retailers at one point were against retailer exclusivity.
Yeah, well, you could see why, because
it sucks.
Yeah.
For pretty much everybody that's not the exclusive retailer.
It's pretty crazy though when you think about it that they
Okay, I skipped Legion before, but here he is now.
That they changed the strategy. They changed the strategy so late into the game. Where obviously, I mean, Sony. Well, I think it was. It had to be the PS1. That was going to be Sony's first console on the market, and it maybe had to do with Nintendo 64 as well. I can't remember. I just know that I think they wanted to beat them to the market, and that's what ended up happening. Is that why? Let's see. Steffi says, is that why you and Chase got so hard into MOBAs? So that's definitely Chase got me into MOBAs.
The MOBAs came about from like Warcraft and Starcraft.
Yeah,
Custom maps.
I wish I'd have played more MOBAs when I was younger because I'm not as good as my brother or a lot of other people because I think I played it when I really didn't start getting into MOBAs until I was like in my 20s.
He's also got a lot of RTS experience under his belt, which I'm sure aids with MOBA.
Yeah, and that's a fat original DS, by the way. But yeah, so Warcraft is what got us to play. Chase to play StarCraft. Chase loved StarCraft, and then I liked these games as well. I played them as well, but Chase would play them more like competitively. And then Warcraft 2 came out, or I think that was Warcraft 2. Then we got Warcraft 2 on the PC. And Warcraft 3 was a huge deal at that point with all of our friends, like Inner Circle was all into Blizzard games. And we got Warcraft 3 the day that it came out. I remember we stayed up all night. We were so excited to go get Warcraft 3 from Fry's. We got home, put Warcraft 3 in, and we weren't really super knowledgeable about PCs because I think I was in junior high at the time. So I was like 14 years old, I think, when Warcraft 3 came out. 14 or 15. 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there. Maybe 12. Anyways, Warcraft 3 came out. We installed the game. I remember us being so disappointed because the game boots up and the game was just frozen. Our computer didn't have enough RAM. So when you would click, we still played it like this, mind you, for the first for a month or so. You would click and the character, it would take forever. It wasn't even 10 FPS. It was like probably 1 or 2. It was really bad. And then I remember my friend Brandon, who is Bedozer in the chat, you'll see him once in a while. He's like, I think I saw the tree breathe. So anyways, I remember us going to bed that night because he had slept over because we were all like, he'd slept over to play Warcraft. And he's like, we were just reading the manual because we were trying to get anything we could get about Warcraft 3 because we're so excited, but we couldn't play it. But anyways, we ended up upgrading our RAM, then we were able to play it later. But yeah, I missed the story. Sorry, if I think it was it Yumi that posted it. So we have the chat like zoomed in so that we can read everybody, but then it scrolls past and I missed some of it. But yeah, I needed more RAM. Should have downloaded more RAM. No, I had so we knew nothing about computers. But my uncle came over. We went and bought some. I think we had 128 megabytes of RAM and it needed 256. Let me see what the original specs for, let's see, Warcraft 3 required RAM. I want to see how much it required.
I'm still waiting for Reforged to come out.
I think it required 128 megabytes of RAM. Yes, that was it. Memory, 128 megabytes of RAM. We didn't have that. Then we got it, and the big thing with Warcraft 3, Warcraft 2 is we loved like the custom games and StarCraft, and that's what led Chase into finding like the MOBAs and stuff. So yeah, it came with a thick manual. I remember one of the things me and my brother was talking about. Brandon said, read me about bloodlust. It's one of the abilities that the orcs had. The manuals like explained everything. Like they were so cool. Like you could stay up all night reading about them. That's what we had to do because we couldn't play the game. Yep, it was our computer was one of those like it was a HP. I can remember exactly what it looks like. It was a gray HP that had like a translucent purple front. It was HP. It was like gray on the outside. The whole base of it was gray, and then on the front had this like purple transparent stuff on it. It was the first computer we got, and it was when I was 12 or 13. We got the computer. We'd had computers before, but never internet. That's when we got that computer, and we got dial-up. And we used to play Warcraft 2, and the way we played Warcraft 2 is we would battle each other, me and my friend like Mick and Brandon. What we would do is you could type IP address or whatever it was, but you could type in. What we would do is we type in each other's phone numbers, and then you'd hit send, and then you'd hear your phone ring, and then you'd hit connect, and you would fight each other over over the networks. They had BattleNet as well, but that's how maybe it was Warcraft 1 that we did that.
Warcraft 2 didn't have Battle Network originally.
Yeah, I think we didn't have Warcraft. It was not the BattleNet edition. It was like before the BattleNet edition. That's how we would play each other.
And obviously that means Warcraft 1 predated it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of games.
I just tried to start playing the other day. That game is unplayable without mods. Because apparently it only has like keyboard shortcuts, which is fine in a lot of cases, but it really makes you take for granted all the things you do with the context-sensitive right-click. Because Warcraft does not have that. All it has is left-click. You even have to hold Shift or Control to be able to select multiple units at one time.
Do you guys remember the original Steam server? I was real late to the game on Steam. I was mainly a console gamer. The only PC games, I never had a high-end PC for a long time. We played like, Blizzard stuff. That was really it. We played StarCraft, Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, Diablo, Nexus. So we did quite a bit of PC gaming, but we didn't have high-end stuff. The first time I built my computer was my senior year of high school, or junior or senior year of high school, and it was right when Doom 3 came out. And I didn't even build a high-end one, but it was high-end for me. It was able to play Doom 3. Not well, but it was able to play it. Let me see when Doom 3 came out, so that'll tell me the year. Let's see, Doom 3. Let's see the Doom 3 release date. Yeah, August 3rd, 2004. So I graduated high school in 05. So yeah, that would have been my junior year. Surprised I'm getting most of these dates right, because I'll think that certain things happen at certain times in my life, and I'll be off by a couple of years. But my brain's working good for me now. Doom 3 it freaked me out. Me and my friend Daniel were blown away by it, though. We both built PCs that summer from our jobs that we worked at my uncle's driving range. We got Pokemon. We built our own PCs. We were living the life. And that's the summer we got DSL for the first time. We went from dial-up to DSL in 2004. 2003 or 2004. Can't remember. I think I might have built my computer in 2003 and then just upgraded my graphics card for Doom in 2000. Something like that. But yeah, we're living the dial-up life until 2003 or 2004, and yep. Back in my day, you could eliminate lag just by killing an enemy. You had dial-up until 2007. Yeah, depending on where you live, that's all they offered for a while. So we'll get back to some more nostalgia, but let me talk about what we're gaming for specifically right now. We're playing through the entire not the entire Castlevania series. I keep using that same line because we played through the entire Zelda series this summer. But we're playing through much of the Castlevania series, and we're raising money for Direct Relief. We haven't had a donation in a bit.
I think we played through all the Igavanias at least.
Yeah, that's true. We did play through all the Igavanias, and we still got plenty left. We play till tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. We're helping raise money for Direct Relief, who helps with humanitarian aid. They help in catastrophes that happen around the world. They support over 100 countries, and they also help within the U.S. They help with aid, like, for example, the wildfires that happened in California. But yeah, we've done events for them since 2013, so we've been doing stuff for 6 years. So any donation would be much appreciated. It's going directly towards them. You can donate using a debit card, credit card, PayPal. We're trying to beat our last year's Halloween event. We have seasonal events pretty much. Usually not an event every spring, but we do have one every summer. We started having one every year, every in the fall, and then during the winter in December. And so since we've picked up doing the Halloween marathons again, we started back up again in 2016. We raised about 4,500 in 2016. I think we raised a little over 7,000 in 2017, and then we raised a little over 8,000 in 2018. So we're getting close to passing our 2016 amount. We're still a bit away from 2017 and 2018, but yeah, let's keep going. We haven't had a donation in a bit, but yep, it's extremely easy to donate to. No extra menus or anything. Less than a minute with PayPal. Yeah, so if you have PayPal, it's real simple. Even if you have debit card or credit card, it's real easy too. And like all major payments are accepted. Visa, MasterCard, all of them. I guess I shouldn't say all of them. I'm sure there's one out there that doesn't work, but sisters are doing work. Fun fact, donating has no unskippable cutscenes. That's true. So these twins are good, even though they have these vampire abilities?
They're not vampires yet.
Okay.
That's what this whole playthrough is about here, is how Bronner ends up turning them into vampires. Right now, all I know is that their father, Eric Lecard, went to the castle, and they came in looking for him.
Does it have like the same bosses and stuff as before?
Yeah, except you don't get to fight Dracula.
Is it a different boss?
No, you just don't get to fight Dracula.
Okay. Donate has no loot boxes. So, are you able to battle now in Pokemon Go if you're maxed friend ability or whatever? Hey, how would you rate the story for this Castlevania with all the others? It says AMP17. My favorite story arc is the whole... I mean, because there's not a ton of story, obviously, with these games. Not that that's a bad thing. Just how the games are. But I like Aria Sorrow and Into Dawn of Sorrow. I think is really cool. I mean, I guess there are some with actually have quite a bit of story. Like Symphony of the Night. I like the way how they tell that story over the course of the game. But what do you think of the Portrait of Ruin story? You enjoy it?
It's alright.
I think it's cool that you get this wasn't DLC, but you get this side story by beating it, or can you do it right from the get? Oh, it's just from beating it.
Yeah, you can also play as Richter if you beat it, which makes no sense story-wise, because this is like 200 years after Rondo. So,
what about overall though? How do you like Portrait quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, I liked a lot of the mechanics, the team aspect to it. It's really fun, and it's the only game that ever did it.
Oh, that sucks. David John says my card provider has PayPal banned from interactions with my debit Visa. Oh, that sucks. Well, thank you for trying though. We appreciate it. We like you just, even if you're just able to hang out and talk with us, is totally understandable, but thanks for the attempt. Real unfortunate, actually. You can level up friendship by battling. Jacker, how close are we to becoming ultra friends or whatever? I'd like to. I mean, I can't battle right, or maybe I could. Actually, I'll pick up Pokemon Go right now. For those of you who don't know, I don't know why I'm a sucker for these type of things when it comes to events, but in Pokemon Go right now, it's their Halloween event. There's a lot more ghosts and I think dark Pokemon that show up, and then you've got like Darkrai that you can raid for. But the most important thing to me is during the night. Hold on, let me boot it up. I love this. Here we go. 1 second. During the evenings, let it load up. It's got the Lavender Town theme remix, which they did an awesome job. And this is bumping. But anyways, with the Lavender Town or with the Halloween event, I wish that whenever these happen, the events, I think they should change. I mean, because the maps are just an overlay. They should give a different overlay on the maps, like make it a little bit more fall or Halloweeny. Obviously, the weather is not. I understand, like I guess. Never mind. When it snows, I mean, it does snow in the game. You do see it, and when it rains, it rains. But maybe they could put like little pumpkins on the corners or something like that, or little Christmas trees. I don't know, something. I have lots of ideas for Pokemon Go, but let's see. Let's see what me and Jagger have got going here. How's our friendship level? Me and Rust are like 3.5 hearts. I don't know how the ratings are. What do the hearts mean? We're ultra. Oh, we can you battle if you're ultra friends? Because me and Jagger are probably almost ultra friends. Let's see.
I don't think friendship's a requirement to battle.
Over long distances.
I've been battling with my uncle for a long time, and
really? No, I think it is.
Recently got ultra friends.
I think it is a
recently
requirement.
Got best friends. We've been battling at least since we were ultra friends. I think we were battling before that though.
I think ultra friends. Oh no, me and Jagger aren't even ultra friends. Dang it, we. All right, Jagger, I'm gonna accept your gift right now, and then I'm out of. I have to go back to work before I can send you one. For some reason, let's see. Tap the portrait. Yeah, I saw. We're not ultra friends, but we're getting there. I just opened your gift, Jagger. So our level shouldn't have increased. Alright. My phone's about to die, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Let's see. Plug in my phone for a bit. Let this charge. Okay. Yeah, me and Rinslet are almost ultra friends, and then I have a couple of people. I think me and Rust are almost best friends. Ooh. So how's your run going so far? Do you say these?
It's good. It's almost over.
Are these sisters witches?
No.
Then how are they flying?
Just magic blood.
I see. They look kind of creepy because they didn't really animate them. They just float.
I'm sure this mode was an afterthought, and the only animations they had made were like their vampiric ones.
Oh, well, apparently they're not vampires yet, Wumbo. They're getting there. Ultra lets you battle friends long distances. You can battle anyone close by. Okay. Yeah, so you got to be ultra. And then battling raises your friendship up. I'm guessing it'll cap you out to the amount of times per day or whatever. Level up. That reminded me of Mario 2 for some reason when you went down there.
Yeah, I always think of that too.
Another timeline, they became vampires, so there will always be vampires in every timeline.
Except for before they become vampires and after we cure them from their vampirism.
Well, you cure their vampirism in this game? Wow. So they become vampires like not all the way through this game. At some point they'll become it, and then you cure it at the end?
Yep.
What the heck?
It's more like about 2/3 through the game that they get cured.
You only think they aren't vampires, and only think you can cure them. Yeah? Mumbo brings up some good points here. Alright guys, what you want to talk about? Let's throw some topics out in the chat. Any video game topics? Of questions. You can tell if you've interacted that day by the blue ring around them and list. Oh, cool. That'll help me out. The more I know. I'm looking forward to the new Pokemon game. Me too. The feature I'm looking forward toward the most is the wild. I love the idea of... the way that I'm taking it from what I've read is... So you'll have your towns, and then in between the towns you'll have the wild areas to get to the other portions of the game. And in the wild, it's when you go in there, it's going to put you in with random other people. So it's almost like an MMO light in a sense, because it's not going to put like obviously everybody in the area that's on there, but I think it's going to pull, say in the wild, like an area can hold like 50 people. Probably won't even be that much, but say it can hold 20. It'll put 20 random people with you, and they can you can meet up with them in the area. You can trade with them. You can battle with them, and then they also have this little pillars that happen that will kind of naturally make you want to go to the area to be like, oh, there's a pillar. You'll go to it, and that's where you'll be able to raid. So I don't know, that whole internet activity seems really cool to me. Yeah, I remember when they first introduced online battles in Pokemon. What's crazy is when they first introduced online battles, they actually had mic capabilities. The quality wasn't great, but I remember talking to people, just random people through the mic. Well, I think you actually had to battle them through your friend codes. I don't think you could randomly mic with people. But there was a forum that I would go to that they were setting up like either like tournaments or something like that. And then if you would play with them when using a friend code, then I could think you could use the mic. I don't think it would allow you to use your mic in random battles. I think it was only friend ones, but yeah. Gen 4 was awesome with the Wi-Fi battle system. Yeah, you needed friendship codes to connect with people. Yeah, that was really cool. The first time, so I remember my router wasn't, I can't remember if it was the Fat DS, if it was a problem with the Fat DS or the game or what it was, but you had to have a certain type of Wi-Fi connection and my router didn't have it. So this game, Gen 4, it came out I think my freshman year of college, so it was like 2006 or something like that. I even imported, that was the first time I think I'd ever imported a game. I think it was the first time I imported a game from Japan was Pokemon Diamond, which we later gave away during one of our, I think at our 2008 Pokemon Marathon. But anyways, maybe it was a bit later. Does anybody know when Gen 4 came out? 2006, 2007, something like that. But my router wouldn't work for it, so what I would do is would walk down the street and I would just connect to random people's routers, because back then people and I wasn't doing anything malicious, obviously. I mean, I just wanted to battle people over Pokemon and my router wouldn't work. And back then you would just find, Joe Bob's Wi-Fi and you'd connect to it. Now by default everybody's router like always requires a password and all this, but yeah, back then it was the Wild West. Everybody's router was open. Wamba says there's an unlocked Wi-Fi near me. Yeah, those are becoming more and more rare. How I really became to realize that is when I first moved into this house, when we first bought it. We were trying to get internet set up and it took forever, and I had one of those Wi-Fi adapters that would plug in my computer. I plugged it in and like everybody in the neighborhood had their Wi-Fi unlocked. Now when you look, there's none, but yeah. It's called Linksys to some weird number. It's straight out of the box. Yeah, it seems like used to be like straight out of the box everybody was just unlocked, so the person not knowing if they were to hook up the router and just do the bare minimum, it wouldn't do it. But a lot of them, or at least when like AT&T or Spectrum come to set up your stuff, they'll password it right off the bat. But when I moved in my first apartment, four unsecured wireless printers. Yeah, I can't remember. Was that Medusa?
Yeah.
She was very different in this game. Yeah, I can't remember if whenever I lived in the apartment if there were any like Wi-Fi. I'd imagine living in an apartment you'd get the most like Wi-Fi signals there. I think the router also needed to be either WEP or WPA to work with the DS Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's the thing that was I think giving me the trouble.
No, WEP was the only one supported, and that was only even on the DSIs.
Okay.
You straight up couldn't have protection with the fat DS.
Pap says, "What mode is this? This is what was it called?
Sisters.
Sisters mode." People in the chat, favorite generation of Pokemon. Sadly, I know people won't like this. Well, so I'm not a complete Gen 1er, as they like to call them. Gen 2 is actually my favorite. I like all Pokemon. I get all the Pokemon the day it comes out. I've been getting them on launch since Gold and Silver. Pokemon Gold and Silver are the... Okay, hold on. I think Pokemon Gold... Or no, Pokemon Silver is the first game I ever pre-ordered. It depends on whether Pokemon Silver or Majora's Mask came out first. I think Pokemon Silver came out. They were around the same time. It was a close call. But pre-ordered Pokemon Silver, got it. We had at that time we had just the Game Boy Pocket and a Super Game Boy, and so we would play. Me and my brother, we would share Pokemon Silver. We'd put it in the Super Game Boy and we'd watch each other play. But when I got Pokemon Silver, I just played it for, I was just hogging it all. So my brother, I think the very next day, went up and got Pokemon. He'd saved up some money from like his birthday or something. He then went and got Pokemon Gold so that we could both play it. And I think he played it on the Game Boy Pocket because neither the Super Game Boy or the Game Boy Pocket played it with the color palettes. If you did have a Game Boy Color, it would play it with some color, but it wasn't like, it didn't require you to have Game Boy Color. However, Pokemon Crystal did require you to have Game Boy Color, I'm pretty sure. David says, Gen 4 was my favorite. I maxed out the hours on Diamond. Nice. Yeah, Gen 4 was great. Actually, all the gens are really good.
I was a Gen 1er, but I took a Shining to 7.
Seven? That's Cinnamon or 7?
Yeah.
Let's see. I deleted my older sister's save file on Pokemon Crystal. Did y'all play Bloodstain at the marathon? Funny thing you say, that's coming up next.
Well, not next, but...
Oh, well, yeah.
That's the next player.
Yeah, next player is coming up. So we're doing Bloodstain. We're giving away a code for Curse of the Moon. We aren't playing Ritual of the Night, but we are playing the 2D, more Castlevania 3 inspired game. I really like, I'd say of the newer Pokemon games,
That was my last boss.
Black and White is my favorite because it has a lot of my favorite Pokemon. I really want to go back and play it because I hear Black 2 and White 2. I haven't played Black 2 and White 2, but I hear that they're a lot of people's favorites when it comes to the what do you even call those? You know, you've got Crystal, you've got Emerald, you've got Platinum.
Third game.
Yeah, I hear that the Black 2 and White 2 third game is like the best one. In terms of the third game ones, and the story in Black and White it's pretty crazy. Remember when I played it, I was like, wow, they really gave an emphasis to the story in this game. It's kind of like Final Fantasy-like, in my opinion. It's pretty bizarre, but it was cool.
I skipped death, so I think I'm going to go back and see if that fight's actually there. I don't think it is.
Let's see.
Because there's no final boss, so.
Yeah, as Pantaro pointed out, we do have our own custom item. If you're playing Bloodstained Ritual tonight and you use the file name The Speed Gamers, all one word, just like our Twitch channel, you will get our special weapon in the game. It's called, I can't remember what our name of our weapon is.
A time stopper or something.
It's not the final count. It's the final. So we used to.
The final count, maybe.
I can't remember. It used to be so for all the boss fights back in like 2008, 2009. We played Final Count now. We played it every boss fight, kind of like a meme thing that we do back in the day. But it's nowadays we obviously can't play like licensed music and stuff like that. But so I think it's the final hour is what the name of our weapon.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So our weapon in the game is the final hour. If you want that, you'll start out with it, and it's like the hand of a clock. So it's like a clock sword weapon thingy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
there he is.
It's awesome that we got to be in it. That's all thanks to Fangamer. Cover palette for Game Boy Pokemon games was limited to 4 colors, including black and white colors. I remember I liked playing the Super Game Boy games, or the Pokemon games on the Super Game Boy, just because even though it didn't change it much, it would have that little shade of red or shade of blue depending on what you chose.
Huh. He just like pieced on out and the boss music kept going. That's weird. Alright then.
It's so weird how they like float. They don't really, when you attack, do their hands even move or anything, or do they just kind of shoot out of their body?
No.
No. I mean, it is just an extra, so I mean, it makes sense, but...
Can I not step on that? I don't think I can actually step on this.
Alright, just animate.
Okay, I can't do that shortcut.
Animate 2 little girls, just have their dresses flow in the wind. They don't have to move their hands or anything else. You don't have to animate them running. We'll just make them float.
I guess the only thing left is to see if they put a different boss in the room where you fight the sisters. I'm pretty sure it's just blank though.
Jagger says they move like I do in my dreams. We're gonna have a Jagger game where he just floats and we'll just animate his hair like flowing, his like shirt flopping.
I like how they have a small hitbox though. Their hitbox is always the size of the toad.
I'm convinced Blue Girl's arms are not attached. Watch them move. Anyways, I'm heading to bed. I'm falling asleep. I'll try to get to you when I can tomorrow before it ends. See y'all later. See you, Simba. Thank you for stopping by as always. Thank you for keeping us energized. Boom, boom.
Music in this game is really good. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Alrighty then. I guess I'll just go get the ending.
Are you already at the end?
Yeah, I went back and fought Death just because I skipped him because we don't have to fight him.
Alright, we got the end coming up. So the girls already became vampires yet?
No, that is the ending.
Oh, I thought you said they become vampires and you cure them of their vampirism.
Yeah, you cure them when you're playing the normal game.
Oh, they were in the normal game story?
These are the Lacards that are required to help Jonathan Morris unlock the power of the vampire killer.
Oh, so they were in the original one?
Yeah.
In the original story? I didn't... So they're vampires now?
No. This is where they become vampires.
Oh, I see. So you just play up to that point?
Yeah.
So it's like it's nothing. I went back and fought Death. Well,
And that's the ending.
there you go. You guys got an extra mode there. Yeah, so
How long did that even take me?
apparently, what was the last game played on? I was
No,
the
it's not
PS4.
going to tell me because I used it. Well, a little less than an hour.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah. Alright, I need to set the PS3 now.
All right. Up next is.
Although I could show off Richter real quick.
All right.
I've not practiced Richter and it's really, really hard.
Show off a bit of some Richter since we're so far ahead of schedule before we move on to Harmony of Despair, which will be pretty cool since I haven't seen. Oh, you get Maria too?
Yeah.
Is the Maria that's so Maria? So Symphony of the Night. How many years does it take place after Rondo Blood?
It's like 1 or something. Or no. Wait, it's a lot more than that.
It's like
It's like
30?
10.
10? Okay. Because Maria's in Symphony of the Night, but she looks much older.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just like always booking it.
Did you just swap between Maria and Richter all the
Yeah.
time? That's cool. So it's like a Maria and Richter mode.
Like it's still got the partner mechanics from the base game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And you can change your sub weapons.
I like playing as Maria and Rondo just because it almost felt like the easy mode. You just throwing out the little birds, like she's so dominant. There's a Japanese radio series chronicling Maria and Alucard's love life. Wait, really? Wow. So she's strong in this game too.
Well, I used that same glitch.
Oh, okay.
That's why the map's filled out. I just wanted to kill the behemoth with a bunch of cats. Anyway, we can switch now.
Cool. All right, it's on to Harmony of Despair. And then I guess you're going to use Lament of Innocence for filler if you beat that quickly.